In this episode, we'll do a recap of this year's AWS reInvent, going over briefly the event itself, but more importantly, of all the hundreds of announcements that were made, we picked out 28 of those, including SageMaker, 5G private network, new storage features and pricing, plus much more. Hey, I'm Matt Carolyn, and welcome to this month's special episode of Puck Online. Today we're here in North Vancouver, Canada, with a storm about to hit us for the weekend. So let's try to make this quick. So at the end of November and into December, AWS held their annual event reInvent. Last year it was online only, but this year it was back to business somewhat as usual, even though half the world was not ready to travel. There were also a lot of announcements. We've tackled 28 of the best ones. If you want to go into more depth, make sure you check out our user group on December 16th, where we'll go into it in a lot more depth than the 10 minutes that we can hopefully cram all this into now. With all the announcements made at reInvent this year, two things I noticed was that there were a lot of low-code or no-code new features and services added. Also that the names of services are getting longer. A lot has happened at the top since last reInvent, with Andy Jassy moving to CEO of Amazon and Adam Selipsky becoming the new CEO of AWS. Adam's keynote didn't have any bombshell announcements like Andy would have each year, but I did like the quote during his talk that the cloud has become not just another tech revolution, but an enabler of fundamental shift in a way that businesses actually function. They went on to say that there's no industry that hasn't been touched and no business that can't be radically disrupted. I also liked what Vogel said in his keynote with, "You have asked for this, it is basically your fault," referring to the over 200 services on AWS and how because of that, API design can be confusing and complex. But there was good news in the announcements that solves or at least addresses that. Let's start off with the announcements I've been hearing the most about, AWS's private 5G, which is a new way to set up and scale a private mobile network in a few days rather than months. AWS sends everything you need from hardware to software to SIMs. Automatic configuration makes it ideal for factories and workplaces, and you can ask for as many devices to be connected as you need. The new Amazon DevOps Guru for RDS will, for Aurora RDS, automatically detect, diagnose, and resolve hard-to-find database-related performance issues in minutes, not days. It's available right now in all regions. DevOps Guru is already available. Code Guru Reviewer Secrets Detector is an automated tool that helps developers detect secrets in source code or configuration files such as passwords, API keys, SSH keys, and access tokens. Secrets Detector leverages AI to identify hard-coded secrets as part of the code review process. Secrets Detector is included as part of Code Guru at no additional cost and supports most of the APIs from providers including AWS, Atlassian, Datadog, Databricks, GitHub, HubSpot, MailChimp, Salesforce, Shopify, Slack, Stripe, Tableau, Telegram, and Twilio. AWS Amplify offers purpose-built tools for front-end developers. The new AWS Amplify Studio allows developers to visually build complete feature-rich apps in hours instead of weeks, with full control over the application code. To help simplify Kubernetes infrastructure, AWS has announced Carpenter with a K. This open-source auto-scaling tool is aimed at improving application availability and cluster efficiency. Carpenter automatically launches needed compute resources as application loads change, and you now have a new place to go for all your free community-sourced AWS questions and answers with AWS Repost. This replaces the original AWS forums. And 30 new AWS local zones are coming in 2022 across 21 different countries, and yes, Canada is on the list. Talking about new data centers, regions, zones, and all that, AWS also announced that they will be on track for 100% of their power to be renewable energy by 2025, which is 5 years earlier than they originally announced in their goal settings. And AWS Cloud WAN lets you build, manage, and monitor global-wide area networks. All your network activity can be managed via a central dashboard with AWS signing up to the likes of Verizon and Swisscom as initial telecom providers. There are now more than 475 different instance types on AWS, and AWS is adding 8 new ones to that list during AWS reInvent. They also announced AWS mainframe modernization, which will help companies migrate, modernize, and run mainframe workloads on AWS at much lower costs than ever before. But the big announcement for compute was the new Graviton 3. This is a more powerful CPU and uses 60% less energy. The first EC2 instance to hit the shelves using Graviton 3 will be the C7G. So the second most talked about announcement I've been hearing is SageMaker Canvas. It's been a favorite with some of my friends at AWS, like Colin here in Western Canada. The new Amazon SageMaker Canvas will let users create ML predictions even if they don't have any ML experience, and with no need to write any code at all. This should let more users than ever before get the most out of ML, no matter what level of experience they have. Amazon's SageMaker Studio Labs is another exciting one. It's a free platform that lets users sign up to get access to AI and ML tools, making tooling less complex and more uniformed. Amazon SageMaker Ground Truth offers pre-built workflows, templates, and multiple workforce options for customers, but AWS wanted to offer more. So now they are launching Amazon SageMaker Ground Truth Plus, which lets users deliver high-quality training databases fast without writing a single line of code. Serverless inference lowers the cost of ownership with pay-per-use pricing. It lets you easily deploy machine learning models for inference without the need to configure or manage underlying infrastructure. This is ideal for applications with intermittent or unpredictable traffic. And a few other worthy mentions. SageMaker Studio Notebook allows users to access a wide range of data sources and perform data engineering, analytics, and ML workflows in one notebook. Training Compiler, which lets you accelerate model training by 50%. And Inference Recommender, which can reduce the time to deploy from weeks to hours. And there were a lot of S3 announcements, mostly around features, but there was one big announcement which I'll leave for the end of this section. Now, if you haven't heard about AWS Backup, it's a fully managed policy-based service that lets you centralize and automate the backup and restore of your applications spanning across 12 different AWS services, which now includes S3. EventBridge is a serverless event bus that makes it easier to build event-driven apps at scale. S3 Event Notifications now works with EventBridge. A few new simplified access management features for S3, which include S3 Object Ownership settings that lets you disable ACLs to simplify management of data stored in S3, as well as Amazon S3 Console Policy Editor now reports security warnings, errors, and suggestions powered by IAM and Access Analyzer as you author S3 policies. But the big announcement was Amazon S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval Storage class. This new class will give a lower cost of storage for data that's rarely accessed, up to 68% cheaper than S3 standard infrequent access, while offering millisecond retrieval. The existing Amazon S3 Glacier storage class has now been renamed to S3 Glacier Flexible Retrieval and offers free bulk retrieval in 5 to 12 hours, and a storage price has been reduced by 10% across all the regions. And AWS is launching Amazon Lex Automated Chatbot Designer, a new capability that reduces bot design from weeks to hours, simplifying design with advanced natural language understanding. Row and cell level security for Lake Foundation went GA, giving the chance to restrict access to specific rows and columns, and automatically filter and reveal data only to authorized users. A huge security boost. And transactions for govern tables in Lake Formation went GA as well, which automatically manages conflict and errors, ensuring a constant view for users and eliminating the need for custom error handling code or batch updates. And new serverless and on-demand analytics for Amazon Redshift, EMR, MSK, and Kinesis. This will take the infrastructure out of the way. You no longer have to get down and dirty with services, and you pay only for the services you use. This means no configuration or scaling of clusters or servers, Just fire them up and the services scale when you're busy and scale down when you're not. Well, that was a lot of tongue twisters in there. Hopefully we can somehow manage to condense this into 10 minutes in post-edit. But in Wrapup, if you're interested in joining the community for the recap on this year's reInvent, check out the meetup link on publiccloud.ninja site. You'll also find there links to our podcasts, and other future online meetups and events. As well, make sure you click the like and subscribe button so that you get notified each month when we release a new episode. Our next episode should be in about a week's time. Till then, stay safe and keep challenging yourself.